Well, my name's Tom McEwen. I'm the product owner for iSolved, for the iSolved People Analytics solution. I want to just give like a couple of minute overview of some of the highlights of the solution, which, and if it appeals to you, you can contact your iSolved rep and get a more in-depth demo. So what you're looking at right now is one of our basic dashboards. We have a group of out-of-the-box metrics, but a library of a lot of metrics that you can use on the People Analytics solution. What you're looking at right now is one of our configured dashboards. Shows a couple of high-level metrics: number of employees, average age, tenure. And I just want to give you a kind of an idea of what the capabilities of the system are. So right now we're looking at an organization that has 939 employees. If I wanted to look at some subset of those employees, I can drill down on that particular metric, and it would bring me to a screen where I could parse this into different groupings. Right now I'm looking at total. If I wanted to look at it, say, by gender, the system could then bring me a breakdown of the employees of how many are female and how many are male. And if I wanted to look at that breakdown of male, female, but maybe only at the vice president level, I could then filter that. Now I have a list that shows me that I have 14 female vice presidents and 10 male vice presidents. And then down below here, it gives me a look at who those people are. And if, for example, I was looking to promote one of them to maybe an executive vice president, and I wanted to look at two of these people side by side, I could just click their names, and it would bring me up to a comparison where I could look at each of them based on how long they've been with the company, perhaps performance reviews and such. And you can get very granular down to the employee level. Now, in addition to metrics, you can also look at the system in analytics. And what analytics are a trending of metrics over a period of time. So you look right here, you can see we've got a rolling 12 months turnover from July to June. If I wanted to take a closer look at that, I can drill down on that. It's showing me the view of trending. But again, also I could look at that in a couple of different snapshots. This is the last 12. If I wanted to look at just year to date, I could do that. Or if I wanted to look at this over a long time period, like say 3 calendar years, I can do that as well. It's very flexible, the system, and what it lets you accomplish. Both in the immediate time period, which is the metric, the historical analytics, and then the real exciting part is going forward to see the predictive analytics. So this is showing me up to the last month. If I click the predictive, what it's going to show me is the analytics for the next 6 months. So now you can see I had turnover was rising up through April. It's now starting to trend down through the next 6 months to a lower level. And if I click this filter pull out again, there's a new panel that emerges for predictive analysis. And if I click on that, it tells me all of the different factors that are driving turnover. You can see in this one, employee tenure and employee salary are the ones that matter the most. And at that point, I can also begin to build a model if I would like. For example, what factors would I change that would make the trend go in the right direction? This is a very basic one out of the box that takes into account just salary. But we do have some more advanced ones. For example, I'll click over to another screen which shows a similar trending where the filter options show a slightly different story where salary doesn't have that much of an effect. But letting employees work remotely has a big effect, as well as offering professional development. And what the model does is turns the future fields open where I can actually change the values. So for example, right here, if turnover is 3.3% in July, and I were to change this to average salary from, say, 86,000 across the organization to 91, give everybody a $5,000 raise, you can see when I do that, it doesn't have much of an effect, brings turnover about 0.2 of 1%. And really doesn't affect the trend much, which kind of consistent with what the analysis says. But if I move to, say, remote employees, where I have right now a high amount of employees working remotely, probably because of the pandemic, over 70%. If I put in a back to work policy, say in September, where then I'm only going to have, say, 35% of the people working from home and start lowering that amount, you can see that's going to start to drive up turnover, as this was saying that has somewhat of a high effect. Now, I might want to filter this and see who I'm exactly losing. So, for example, filter this by performance. And it shows that most of the people I'm losing are going to be non-high performers, and I might be okay with that. But there is also a spike in the high performers, and you definitely want to lock that population down, which brings us to this last analysis of professional development that said it's very high, has a high effect amongst high performers. And then I've got this third facet to the model, which says right now I only have about 7% of my high performers in any kind of professional development. So what if I were to take that one and increase it to say 25%? And you can see that's what then drives down the turnover here for the high performers. So this is just an example of one of the models you can build with the system using your historical data. If I jump back to the other item, I want to highlight the last part of the solution, which is the natural language processing. So I can first, if I wanted to just not go through the drill down and the analytics and everything I just did, I can just type a simple command like show employees by department. And what that's going to do is bring me right to, oops, I spelled it wrong and it still got it, you see. So it does default to the right word, and it breaks down all of my employees by department. I can do that by typing commands up here, or I can actually activate a bot down below and ask the questions that I would type. For example, Monica, how many female vice presidents do I have?
Total 14.
And what that does is does the same thing as the typed command. It accesses the filters in the system, showing the number of females with a job level of vice president and taking me to that, that calculation. Then you can use these drill downs and analytics to build out multiple dashboards on the system. We were working off of one here from Workforce Overview, but you can build as many dashboards as you like on the system to highlight the things that you particularly might want to see, or you might want to choose from our library of pre-configured dashboards. So I hope this has been helpful, and if you want to learn more, please contact your iSolved sales representative.